Right now at 6:30, a man is rushed to the hospital after a fire in Attleboro this afternoon. Why officials say a Good Samaritan also had to be treated. Plus, a car slamming into a Lakeville home overnight. How those in the car and the house are faring tonight. Bill.
A pretty nice day today, but a brief heavy shower is passing through Washington County right now. Is there any more rain in the forecast? Well, we'll take a look.
This is Southern New England's trusted news source, ABC6 News at 6:30.
Our top story tonight at 6:30. A violent incident in the capital city this weekend. 2 people shot at a family gathering in Providence. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ryan Medeiros. It happened on Hartford Ave, where Providence police say someone started shooting into an apartment complex. Responding officers found a 32-year-old woman had been shot in the shin, and a 54-year-old man had a bullet skim his stomach. Both were taken to Rhode Island Hospital and are expected to be okay. Police say they later found a suspect vehicle, which was reported stolen out of North Providence. There's no update on any suspects at this time. New tonight at 6:30. Police are investigating after shots were fired in New Bedford overnight. New Bedford police say officers were called to State Street early this morning. They arrived to find damage to a parked car and a home and shell casings in the area. Police say nobody was hurt, and detectives are looking into what led up to that incident. 2 people are hurt after a house fire in Attleboro this afternoon. This is a photo of the damage inside that multi-family home on East Street. The Attleboro Fire Department says crews were called there just before 2 and quickly put out the flames. A man on the first floor was rushed to the hospital with burns to his head and face. And officials say a woman who was rushed into the home to help that man escape was also treated for smoke inhalation. The Red Cross is helping those that live there, and what caused the fire is yet to be determined. Let's get a check on the forecast now. ABC6 Storm Tracker meteorologist Bill Gall joins us. And Bill, we had kind of another summery day today, but some showers passing through, as you mentioned.
Right, yeah, they tended to pop up mid to late afternoon, but overall, yeah, it was a beautiful day and a little bit on the muggy side with our high temperatures climbing just a little bit above the norms, making it to 78 degrees at TF Green, and much of the area was in the mid and upper 70s region-wide, but the dew points were in the low 60s, and that kind of helped to aid in a little bit of a shower that tended to develop during the late afternoon hours, right around 4:30 to 5 o'clock, and you can see that line that's starting to form and quickly move off to the south as a weak boundary is moving through the area right now. But focusing in, you're getting that brief heavy shower right in the Hopkinton area over to North Stonington, headed for Westerly in the next 15 minutes. It'll be there, but it's also going to quickly pass on by. It doesn't last all that long, and as you can see from the rainfall amounts over the past 24 hours, it's barely been drops in the bucket, although Newport did manage to report 0.19 inches of rainfall from this little event. All right, as we head through the evening hours, it's going to be a dry night with the clouds clearing out and temperatures dropping back down to the upper 50s, right around 57 in the city itself. There will be some areas of coastal fog forming later tonight. For tomorrow, look for a good deal of sunshine, few afternoon clouds, and temperatures right back up to where they were just about today at 77 degrees. But there will be that light breeze out of the east-northeast. And here's some of the high temperatures you can expect near your home. Most of us are going to be running again in the mid and upper 70s. Very little change day to day coming up for the upcoming week. We'll take a look at all those details just a little while. Ryan.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, Bill. On to some other local headlines now. A person was flown to the hospital after falling off a ladder in Mansfield yesterday morning. Fire officials say it was a 15-foot drop, and the person who fell was badly hurt. Firefighters treated them on scene until a med flight arrived. There's no update on their condition. 2 people were hurt after a car crashed into a home in Lakeville early this morning. The Lakeville Fire Department says it happened around 4 on Precinct Street. The 2 people in the car were taken to the hospital, but officials say they're expected to be okay. The homeowner was not hurt. How the crash happened is still being determined. Firefighters battling a shed fire in Attleboro yesterday afternoon on Donald Lane. They got the call just after 2. The fire department says crews had to switch from water to firefighting foam since flammable liquids were inside the shed. A home on the property was not damaged, but a nearby fence and pool equipment melted from the heat. Nobody was hurt. In national news tonight, Utah Valley University says classes are set to resume Wednesday, 1 week after conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on campus. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
Investigators say they're still searching for a motive in the assassination of political activist Charlie Kirk as he spoke at Utah Valley University last week. Sources telling ABC News the suspected shooter, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, turned himself in after his father recognized him in these photos and urged his son to come forward. Those sources say the suspect initially said no, but later changed his mind.
He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating.
In a brief phone interview with NBC, President Trump repeated unfounded claims that what he calls the radical left is promoting violence.
If it were up to me, I think you need to take the word radical and remove right or left. And radical coming from any direction is not good, it's not healthy, and it should be called out.
Colorado's Democratic governor pushing back against the president's claims.
This is about the acts of an individual, the inexcusable, evil acts of an individual. And there have been more of those in different places at different times. The assassination of the Speaker of the Minnesota Assembly, shooting here in Colorado. Whatever motivates these acts, the fault and the responsibility lie with the perpetrator.
The suspect is being held on suspicion of aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, and felony discharge of a firearm. Charges are expected to be formally filed on Tuesday. Utah's Governor Spencer Cox continues to call for unity as the country recovers from another act of political violence.
Every one of us has to make a decision. Are we going to hate our neighbor? Are we going to hate the other side? Are we going to return violence with violence? Or are we going to find a different path?
Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Orem, Utah.
Still to come at 6:30. President Trump says he's ready to impose tough sanctions on Russia. We'll tell you what he's demanding in order for that to happen. And another summer's-like day today, and fall is not too far away. Bill will have a look at your last official week of summer coming up. You're watching ABC6, Southern New England's trusted news source.
Download the Now Local News app today and upload your pics and videos. You could see your very own story on the air and earn points towards rewards and gift cards.
Welcome back. In world news tonight, President Trump is preparing for his second state visit to the UK this week. This comes as he's threatening new sanctions against Russia, but wants NATO to do the same. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang.
NATO scrambling fighter jets to shoot down more than a dozen Russian attack drones that violated Poland's airspace last week. President Trump has suggested the drone incursion could have been a mistake, but Poland insists it was deliberate.
With all deference to the president, I don't think that was a mistake. I think Putin is testing the resolve of NATO.
President Trump says he's ready to impose tough sanctions on Russia, but only if all NATO allies agree to do the same and stop buying Russian oil. The president posting the purchase of Russian oil by some has been shocking. It greatly weakens your negotiating position and bargaining power over Russia. Anyway, I'm ready to go when you are. Just say when. Trump is also calling on NATO members to impose tariffs of 50 to 100% on China, saying China has a strong control and even grip over Russia, and these powerful tariffs will break that grip. Senator Lindsey Graham says Europe and the U.S. must work together to punish Putin's customers, telling NBC,
"It is now time for the Europeans to follow President Trump's lead and go after China and India. China and India will change their practices toward Putin. This war would end."
The president has set numerous deadlines related to Russia and its war with Ukraine, but those deadlines have passed as Putin launches bigger attacks on Ukraine.
I think the president, though, is waking up to the fact that Putin is not negotiating in good faith, not making concessions, and has to be dealt with. And the more Putin irritates the president, I think the better we are in terms of defending NATO and Ukraine.
Fox News asking the president on Friday whether his patience with Putin is running out.
Yeah, it's sort of running out and running out fast.
Selena Wang, ABC News, Bedminster, New Jersey.
Still to come, families bringing their pups to the park for a good cause in Warwick. How suiting up these dogs in costumes is helping others find a home. Bill.
All right, and heading off to the bus stop tomorrow morning. Well, it won't be quite as cool. Maybe a light jacket or a sweatshirt to get things underway. It'll be about 58 degrees with lots of sunshine. But when you come home, we'll see just a few clouds around. Quite delightful, up to 78 degrees. Now, coming up after the break, we'll see, talk about a rather quiet weather week ahead and temperatures running above normal. And we'll be looking to see if there's any more rain in the forecast. That's just ahead.
From the bus stop to the ball game, count on me, Christina, to make it all run smoothly.
Trending now at 6:30. A positively fun day in Warwick yesterday afternoon. Furry friends suiting up in costumes at Goddard Park, and it was all for a good cause. ABC6's Kate Hanowich has the story.
Dozens of pups, big and small, at the Goddard State Park in Warwick on Saturday for the 23rd annual Paws in the Park.
It's just a good day to be out in a park with some dogs.
The Rhode Island Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals hosting the walk.
We are the oldest nonprofit animal welfare organization in the state.
The day filled with raffles, vendors, and even a costume contest with winners Dolly and Bailey dressed as Lilo and Stitch.
We wanted to have a tandem, a pairing, so Lilo and Stitch was the hottest movie of the summer, so we're like, let's dress them up.
This year, the nonprofit hoping to raise $35,000.
So it goes directly to animal care. So at any given point, we have about 100 to 150 animals in our care at the shelter and in foster homes.
The nonprofit says over the course of the year, about 1,000 pets get adopted.
Because these animals are looking for a second chance. They've already been out there in the world and, you know, they don't always have the best first experience, and so we want their second experience to be the best.
All of the pups at the event have found their forever homes, but there are still many animals in shelters just waiting to find theirs.
The amount of dogs and cats that are homeless across the country is insurmountable. So every single one counts, and if you can adopt, you absolutely should. It's such an incredible and rewarding experience.
The walk, one of RISPCA's most important fundraisers of the year, even attracting some pet celebrities like Tessie Bruschi, named after the legendary Patriot linebacker.
We rely on donations and fundraising events to support our operations.
In Warwick, I'm Kate Hanowich, ABC6 News.
The 54th annual Newport International Boat Show returned to the Newport Yachting Center today. The boat show spans 4 days, wrapping up this afternoon, displaying sailboats and powerboats between 15 to 90 feet in length. In total, the boats covered over 17 acres of Newport's waterfront. Meanwhile, Bristol residents going porch to porch this afternoon for this year's Porch Fest. Over 25 bands, groups, and singers taking part in today's event, performing everything from jazz to folk music. The free event highlights local bands and provides free entertainment for the Bristol community.
Your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Bill Guile. Brought to you by the Preserve Sporting Club and Resort.
Things worked out pretty good for that Porch to Porch Festival today, huh?
I was going to say, I was thinking it was a pretty beautiful day earlier today. I started driving into work, and all of a sudden the skies opened up.
They got a little dark, yes.
Little hit or miss, but hopefully, you know, people were able to hop under some covered porch, maybe some farmers' porches.
Yeah, it really didn't hit everybody. It was just a few spots, and it was very quick when it did come through. And it did get enhanced just a little bit within the last hour as it was moving into Washington County. We'll take a quick look at that.
The other funny thing is I keep saying it feels like a summer's day, but it still is technically summer, right? We got about a week left to go.
After, you know, Labor Day, everybody thinks, okay, summer's over, you know. Yeah.
Back to school.
But right, yeah. But for up until the 22nd, then we hit the autumnal equinox. But yeah, speaking of which, we're losing daylight pretty fast, about 2 minutes and 50 seconds every single day right now. And so while our sunset this evening is 6:56, the last day of the month, it's going to be before 6:30. All right. We did check in with warmer than normal temperatures today, 78 degrees. The average is 76. Nowhere near a record, though, that's for sure. Didn't get any measurement of precipitation in the rain bucket at TF Green from the little sprinkler shower activity. But you can see the line that kind of just formed right around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And as it got to Washington County, enhanced just a little bit, but it's now rapidly falling apart as it's making its way into Westerly. If you're in Hopkinton, you may have pulled out maybe 2/10 of an inch of liquid out of this. certainly take every little drop everywhere we can get it, because we are in for another dry stretch this coming week. And you can see the back edge of the cloud line right now on our webcam looking down the bay. We're at 70 degrees in the city right now, and like Ryan said, felt a little like summer. That's because the dew points were in the low 60s today. The breeze here in Providence out of the south-southeast coming right up the bay at 8 miles an hour. So it's helping to cool things a little bit, as did that brief shower if you got hit by it. So your temperature right now around most areas under that little shower that went on through is down around 70 degrees. Westerly hasn't cooled off yet, but they're just getting into it now, so you'll be there in a minute. Block Island, not too bad at 69. But look what happens as we widen out to the west. Hey, Columbus, Ohio is 85 right now. And check this out. St. Louis, Missouri, 96 degrees. Now, we are not getting that heat coming in our direction. We're getting a little modified piece of it, if you will, but for the most part, we're going to be seeing temperatures running just slightly above normal for most of the upcoming week. All right, hey, here's one of the other triggers that helped to produce that brief shower or sprinkle this afternoon. It's a cold front that's dropping down through New England, and again, combined with those dew points, you kind of got the little bit of lift in the atmosphere to moisten things up just a little bit in a few spots, but it's quickly going to dry out this evening. High pressure takes over for tomorrow, gives us a good deal of sunshine. Same story on Tuesday, and then when we head on to Wednesday, I'm going to keep an eye down to the south. There's going to be an area of low pressure hanging off of North Carolina and the Virginias. Notice any moisture associated with it is pretty fragmented, but it is going to be lifting up in our direction, so perhaps Wednesday night we could grab a shower from this and maybe early Thursday morning, but you really don't hold out your hopes for too much, because what's going to happen in this area of low pressure, it's going to deflect out to sea. So we'll get some clearing as we head into later Thursday and Friday. So if it gets close enough, yeah, South County areas may get a little bit of a shower Wednesday night. But then as we head into the weekend, a new area of high pressure comes in and brings in cooler air for next weekend. So that's the way things will be shaping up. But let's take a close look locally how the next 48 hours are going to shape up for you. All right, again, starting off tomorrow morning, a good deal of sunshine, although a little fog right along the coastline, but not too cool to start the day with temperatures in the upper 50s. Good deal of sunshine for the afternoon. A few afternoon clouds popping up, though, and we'll have temperatures right back close to where they were today in the upper 70s. Then we go into Tuesday. We're going to kind of repeat things a little bit once again. A little bit of low cloudiness or patchy fog in the morning. It'll be slightly cooler to start today, mid-50s, but going into the afternoon, right back to the mid-70s. Nice, comfortable air settling in. Now, as we go into Wednesday, again, we'll be watching the clouds coming up from the south. And again, it really doesn't look like until perhaps maybe Wednesday night that we'll get into that shower threat. So here's how the extended forecast shapes that up. As you can see right now, Wednesday night is where I'm pegging a shower or two around. I'm not looking for a whole lot. And then as we get past that day, heading into Thursday and Friday, we're still into the mid-70s. Well, Friday, a few spots could actually be approaching 80 degrees, and then the cooler air comes in as we head into the upcoming weekend. That's your latest forecast. It's time to see what was happening in the world of sports today. Here's Ian Steele.
Thank you, Bill. We've got Patriots highlights coming up. Stick around. Sports is next.
Now, ABC6 Sports, sponsored by AMP Athletic Movement and Parkour Academy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ian Steele in for Nick Coit tonight. The Patriots and Dolphins have played some crazy games in their history. The Miami Miracle in 2018. Back in 1982, they had the Snowplow game. And a few years later, the 85 Patriots winning in the Orange Bowl. Today, up there in terms of craziness. Here's the key sequence. In the fourth quarter, Pats up by 3. The Dolphins' Malik Washington tracks down this boomer of a punt. 3 tackle attempts, but he is not wrapped up. He reverses field with a whole lot of that natural grass in front of him, and he stomps all over it for a 74-yard punt return touchdown. Miami takes a 27-23 lead. Then on the ensuing kickoff, Antonio Gibson brings the Patriots ahead again. This a 90-yard kick return touchdown, 2 special teams TDs, 12 seconds. This the go-ahead and eventual game-winning score. Mike Vrabel gets his first win as head coach of the Patriots, 33-27. That's all for sports. Bill, one final check of our forecast.
All right, we have a pretty dry week ahead. Good deal of sunshine. Temperatures in the 70s. Wilmington near 80 on Friday. Only threat of rain, perhaps a shower Wednesday night.
We'll see you all at 11.
I'm John Calcagni, a former federal prosecutor and head of New England's premier fully staffed criminal defense firm. If you or a loved one has been accused of a crime, call me.
Stay tuned for your local news coming up on ABC6 News at 11.